Can anyone tell me what the difference is between a firm with a rotational program versus a firm with a flexible summer program, non-rotational? Does anyone want to tell me what the big difference is and why it matters? Rotational means going to different firm branches. Why should somebody consider rotational versus not? Because I'll break it down for you. This is really important. This is one of the biggest differentiators between the firms. Somebody who's naturally very entrepreneurial, somebody who's able to decide for themselves what they want to do. They don't necessarily want an overly rigid structure. They want to be able to go and network and meet and develop relationships with partners and just work on a few things that they know they are interested in. A non-rotational or flexible summer program is better for you. It leverages a free market structure in which it's incumbent upon you to go and build relationships with partners, knock on doors and get work, but it means you're in the driver's seat of your career. If you are not a go-getter and you're waiting to be assigned work and you end up in a non-rotational firm with a flexible or free market system style of work assignment, you could end up being on the negative end of this, which means that if everybody else has gone to get the work, the juicy, sexy deals from the partner that they really want, and you're somebody who waited till the last minute to shyly go and knock on doors and say, hey, do you have any more work for me? You might end up getting stuck with the leftovers that nobody else wants. So you've got to consider who you are as an individual, how much structure you need, versus how much you're willing to be in the driver's seat when it comes to getting exposure to meaningful work. A rotational summer program is on the flip side. So you would have structured start and end dates for when you cycle through tax versus litigation versus corporate versus regulatory compliance, for example. And you wouldn't have a choice as to when you switched. So you would be given a set period of time to complete the rotation. Whether you like it or not, you're stuck in that rotation. And if you do like it, you don't get a choice. You have to move on after. So some people like the system for the variety of exposure. Some people do not like it because it's too rigid in the way that it's presented. So you want to think about what makes the most sense. And the best way to understand whether it's a fit for you is to talk to students who have gone through it before and say, how was your experience? What are the pros and cons? Do they really make you leave a practice area if you're in the middle of a deal? Do they really make you do something you're not interested in? Each firm is a bit different, so it's worth it to ask. Those are the two main ones. Some firms will incorporate a bit of a hybrid, which is random selection. What that means is even within a flexible or rotational summer program firm, you may have some assignments that are just dished out at random to students. So it could be a spin the wheel thing. There's a general doc review that needs to be done. 10 students are needed. Let's spin the wheel and see which 10 are assigned it, because no one's going to willingly put up their hand for it per se. You may also just have like a volunteer system in which a work assignment coordinator sends an email to the summer students and says, we need a volunteer to take this on. Please email. We need a response by the end of the day. If you don't have a sufficient amount of work on your plate, you may be the one to, if there are no volunteers, you may be the one to get it assigned. So do bear in mind that sometimes there's a bit of a hybrid where work is given to you, even in a flexible work assignment structure.